How are you? Mike Dorazio here. Today we're going to be doing a cast iron skillet pizza. So pizza's been in my blood for many years. 1996, I had a store. I was open for 17 years or so. Busy joint, a lot of pies, hand stretched, a lot of dough, a lot of flour, a lot of work. Successful though, successful business. The ins and the outs of pizza I know. This is about a 15-inch cast iron skillet. Been around a long time. Great way to cook. I mean, it's kind of not as traditional for pizza, but wait till you see what you get when you're done. It's great for the home pizza cooker. You know, people, oh, I got my pizza stone. No, I got my cast iron skillet. I'm telling you, works out well. We're going to be doing everything homemade, scratch dough, scratch sauce, everything toppings. Everything's going to be, you're going to like what you get. This is a non-traditional pie being done in a cast iron skillet. You'll see a tremendous crispy bottom, almost like it's fried. It comes out really good. You know, better than most Sicilians done in a pan, because the steel, the gauge is much thicker and it radiates a lot of heat. We're going to be doing this around 500 degrees and the oven's been on for 2 hours. There is a stone inside the oven. There's a 15-inch stone, which that pan will sit right on top. We're going to go over to the mixer and we're going to start up on the dough. The dough consists of yeast, water, flour, sugar, salt, and a little splash of oil. The trick to pizza dough, good pizza dough, is do not over knead it. Don't over mix it. It becomes tough. It'll be a bad cook. You'll get no crumb. You'll have no air pockets. It won't be crunchy. It'll be dull. So, flour first. Sugar and salt. All your dries you can go right in. Just gonna give that a little stir. We're gonna incorporate the yeast and water and dissolve it. Warm water, 80 degrees, 85 degrees, something like that. Maybe 2 tablespoons olive oil, tablespoon and a half, something like that, just a little bit. This is dry yeast. Commercially, we would use fresh yeast, which is a refrigerated product that you get shelf life roughly a week or so out of it. Dry yeast sits in your cabinet for a long time, no problems. Fresh yeast comes in a 1-pound block wrapped in a wax paper, which when we were doing 50 pounds flour, we would put 3-4 ounces of fresh yeast into the mix. This recipe calls for 2 teaspoons with a 1.5 pound dough. When the dough becomes crumbly and starts to bind up, we're going to hit the timer and we're going to run it for about 7 to 8 minutes. That should be suffice. You're going to knead the dough on slow. Do not run the mixer anything higher than position number 1. It'll be done about 6-7 minutes. While the dough's mixing, we'll just do a quick pizza sauce. Very simple. Would be a 32-ounce can of whole Italian plum tomatoes, 2 cloves of garlic sliced, 2 tablespoons of olive oil already in there, a little pinch of oregano, Italian fresh parsley, and about 8 leaves fresh basil. We're going to drop this in the processor. There it is, pizza sauce is done. There's no need to cook it. It gets baked in the oven in the pie. People, oh, I cook my pizza sauce. No, You don't need to. It's not a big deal. It just, the tomatoes are stewed in the can. Whole Italian plum tomatoes. Take some of the water out of the can, because there's a lot of water inside the tomato actually. Puree the tomato in the machine. Garlic, basil, parsley, oregano, little salt and pepper, and that's it. So a 15-inch pie roughly will be a 6-ounce ladle of sauce. The common in commercial industry on an 18-inch round pie, which is a large pie that fits in a takeout box at your local mom and pop shop, 18-inch pie is common number. The commercial joints usually giving you a smaller pie, 16, 14, 10s. So on a 15-inch cast iron pizza, we're gonna go 6 ounces sauce. Sorry, 6 ounces, not 6 inches. And if you want to know, on ladles, most ladles have the ounce size of the gupino, of the ladle. So I don't know if you can get that. You get that, Steve?
Yep.
6 ounces. So I feel 6 ounces on a 15 is good. 8 ounces on an 18. 8 ounces in a little splash like that on an 18. It all depends on how you put the cheese down on the pie, and that really is how the pie cooks. The cheese is most important. KitchenAid, the motor's making a little bit more noise than usual. It's got a lot of use, this machine. A lot of use.
How old?
This machine is 15 years old, 14 years old. I rebuilt the top half of it once already. This machine works in this kitchen. I use it a lot. From gnocchis to homemade pasta. It's amazing. If you don't have one, I recommend. This dough is about done. So we're gonna take the dough out, right? We're gonna knead it, a little round ball. And go to the table. Just gonna give it a little roll. Close the end up on the back where I folded it under. It's gonna go in an oiled pan. It's gonna stay out to rise 4 hours, 3 to 4 hours. When this dough fills this pan and comes up over the edge to here, and comes this to here, you put it in the refrigerator. All right, so the dough just came out of the mixer. I rolled it quick. It's in an aluminum pan. The dough is gonna stay out in a warm spot, wherever you got a nice little corner. Doesn't need to be in the oven, it could be room temperature. The warmer it is, the faster it's gonna rise. If you're in Florida and it's 85, 90 degrees, the shit's gonna rise like that. If you're living in it's 40, 50 degrees, you're gonna have to generate a little heat for it. It needs to come up. In the restaurant, we would scramble in the winter, trying to get the dough to rise. It's something you can't make pizza with underproof dough. The dough has to be right to make good pie. It's important, and not too many people realize that. The most important part of making pizza is the dough. Everything else is easy. So, very common recipe. We're gonna cover it, and we're gonna leave it out. I usually leave it over here on top of the oven. Nice and warm right here. A couple hours, 3, 4 hours, we'll put it in the refrigerator. So, we did the dough. I showed you a quick sauce, pizza sauce, dynamite. You're gonna love it. Nothing to do, quick and easy, and you're gonna like the flavor it gives you. The rest of the pie is here. Yellow and red grape tomatoes. I use the grape tomatoes because they're sweet. You'll see, this is unbelievable. With the shallots and the tomatoes, we're gonna saute the shallots with a little garlic and olive oil. We're gonna toss the tomatoes just to warm them. We're not gonna cook them. We're just gonna drop them in after the shallots and garlic are brown. We're gonna just warm them a little, take it off. Then we're gonna stretch the dough and get the pie ready to go in the oven. So pecorino romano shaved, fresh mutz chunky, not shredded, not pre-sliced. The reason why is that this pie needs to cook a long time. If the cheese is really thin, it's gonna burn. So we need to have chunky cheese. So as it cooks, as the pie cooks, it gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and the pizza and the cheese will drop. Instead of already down flat, it'll burn before the bottom is done. So the reason why I make the cheese big is to keep the top of the pie light and the bottom crunchy. When I got it, I let it sit on paper towel for about an hour to get the moisture out of it, because I don't need any moisture going on into the pie. We have enough moisture going to be there with the tomatoes, so we don't need added moisture from the mutts. People just take fresh mutts, throw it on the pie. Oh, why is my pie soggy? Why is it wet? Why can't I cut it? Why is it falling apart? Too much water. So this sat out for about 35 minutes, I would say, on a little bed of paper towel, and then the water came out of it. 12 leaves basil, chiffonade, thinly sliced. Shallots are in the onion family. People use them, but not enough. They're a great item. Sweet when cooked properly, and a great accompaniment with these two items together on top of the pizza. The taste is going to be, you'll see. All right, so let's get going. We're going to finish up. We're going to finish slicing the shallots. Thin slice on the shallots. They cook pretty quick and they are super sweet. Let's start sauteing the garlic and the shallots. A little salt and pepper. Got about 3 cloves garlic smashed and diced, and about 2 tablespoons olive oil. This is 4 nice sized shallots. Not the little guys, not the big giant guys, medium size. Garlic's gonna get going. We're gonna add the shallots. We're gonna cook those 2 items together. Then we're gonna throw in the cold tomatoes, toss them around a little bit, and take it off. We're not gonna make tomato stew. We're gonna just toss the tomatoes into the cooked shallots and garlic, and throw a little basil in there and go from there. All right, let's get the dough. So earlier today, before my producer came, I made dough this morning, and about noon, it was out till about 4. I put it in the fridge, and it's ready to go. So I think in this pie, sesame seeds adds a lot of flavor to pizza. So let's do a sesame crust on this guy. This will be good. We're gonna do a little sesame crust. I think that's good. A little flour down. Flip it. Now the whole bottom's floured, top is floured, right? Just gonna work the dough. Now this is the way to work dough. The only way to work dough is cold. You cannot work dough when it's fresh and warm, because it doesn't do what you want it to do. It'll spring back on you, and it makes life a disaster. So dough out of the refrigerator is the way to go. If you feel the dough sticking to the board, a little more flour, give it a little rub. So, little olive oil. This pan is super seasoned. It's been around a long time. It's been in the oven a couple hundred times. I just need to get the oil up on the side of the skillet to just get everything coated, because it's gonna cook nice and crunchy. Okay, this baby's ready to go in the skillet. And how are our shallots doing? They're looking pretty good. Yeah, they're looking pretty good. See, it's starting to brown up. You know, people are like, oh, it's non-stick skillets, non-stick skillets. I'm like, eggs, non-stick skillet. Omelets and eggs when you're at a hotel. Non-stick skillets are good for certain things. When you're cooking and sauteing, stainless steel skillets are the best. This is actually an oil-clad. This is a skillet that has 2 layers of metal. It has an aluminum core with a stainless steel skin. They just saute a lot different, and they brown a lot different. I use non-stick skillets, but for eggs. So, we're gonna get this dough into this pan. I got a little pink, see that? Definitely want to have a high side. We don't want anything running this way and then under the skillet. It will defeat the purpose of using the skillet, because it'll get moisture in the bottom and pizza will be shot. So I'm going to drop the tomatoes in quick. Little drop of oregano, fresh basil. We're just going to flip this around like 30 seconds. We're not going to cook the hell out of it. So this is garlic, shallots, salt, pepper, olive oil, basil, and oregano. Everything's in there. Another 30 seconds. So pizza sauce, 6 ounces we said, right? Should be a perfect amount. Yeah, perfect. Shallots, garlic, tomato mixture. Oh, this thing, badass. Now, the fresh mutz, we're going to place it, we're going to move it, we're going to leave little spaces between it, because this is going to, as it cooks, it's going to drop down. This is a one pound of fresh mutz loaf. It was a loaf, not a ball. It was made locally, it wasn't packaged, it was freshly made in a Italian store. Oven's been on been on for about an hour, hour and a half, 500 degrees. We're gonna need it. This is a big pizza. Beauty. Shave Romano. Here we go. About 15 minutes. Okay, so commercially, a 18-inch pie. You know, when you go to your mom and pop store, you get the big square box. It usually says on the bottom number 18. It's an 18-inch box. When the pizza touches corner to corner to corner to corner, and the corners are like this, and the pizza comes around, 18 inches end to end. That usually would take an 8-ounce ladle. This pie that I made tonight is a 15-inch pie. And most ladles that are sold have a numerical mark on them. It'll give you the ounce size, you know, on the ladle itself. This says 6. So most of them are, you know, the bottom part is just the whole 6 ounces of fluid. So when you make a bigger pie, you need more sauce. You use an 8-ounce ladle, so every time you're consistent. 8 ounces of sauce, 8 ounces of sauce. You know, that's kind of why we use 8-ounce ladles in commercial applications, because we want to keep the pie consistent, you know. That's it on ladles. So when the pie is done, we're gonna top it with a little fresh Italian parsley, which I grew myself, and my fresh basil, which I grew myself. Nothing like having fresh herbs in the backyard. Been using them all season. I've been using everything that I grow. Eggplant, zucchini, I got lettuce right now, spinach growing, beets growing, white eggplant, regular black eggplant, all season. Tomatoes, I can't give them away. We had a good year with the vegetables, and we used everything. From making pickles to everything that we grew, we ate. We did not throw nothing away. Maybe here or there a tomato, but you know, on the vine that dropped. Nothing crazy though, all good. All good, good year. Weather was good. Fresh parsley, fresh basil. I'm gonna top that pizza when it comes out with it. It's looking good, not too wet. I can show you a little trick when it comes out on how to really get the bottom crunchy. We're gonna put it on the burner and we're gonna heat the bottom of that pan and we're gonna fry that dough in the bottom. It's a really cool trick because you don't have a lava rock, you know, 3-inch rock that you're cooking your pizza on when you're home. I've known people to pull the bottom rack out of the oven and go and get a pizza stone out of an oven or buy one, you know, a real pizza stone, a big one, one that goes into a commercial oven, a 4-pie oven or a 6-pie oven, and they put it on the bottom of a gas oven, of a gas range. They take all the racks out and they slide the stone, and it's about this fat stone, and they put this right on the gas burner. So you could do hand stretch pies on a flour board and, you know, slide them in onto the stone this big, and then you're kind of doing what we do commercially at your home, in your home. But for the most part, you know, regular electric range or a gas range, if you want to put a big giant stone in, you kind of get the heat that you need to cook the bottom brown, opposed to doing it in a cast iron skillet like we're doing. Okay, so the pizza's been in about 16 minutes. Gonna check the bottom. If the bottom needs a little heat, we're gonna put it up on the burner and cook the cast iron skillet with the gas burner. That'll actually fry the pizza dough in the bottom a little bit more and make it a little more crispy. I don't think we need it though, we'll see. Yeah, it looks all right. A little bit. Let's do it a little bit. It's definitely nice and brown. You'll see. This will give it the extra. Yeah, a little bit. Just a little bit. It's a beauty. Not too wet. Yeah, nice. It's got to set up. Nice. Just give it a little bit all the way around. You know, because this skillet weighs about 8 pounds, so this skillet went in the oven ice cold, right? The skillet went in the oven ice cold. It went on a hot pizza stone, and we did achieve a golden bottom without putting it on the burner, which is hard to do with a big skillet, you know. But we did it. I think we're good. Just gonna let it set up a minute. So anybody can give you a recipe on paper and say, here, it's a great dish. You gotta execute it. You know, it's gotta be cooked. Now that is a gorgeous pie, man. Done in a cast iron skillet in an electric oven. The pie came out of the oven. We let it set up a little bit. We toasted up the bottom a little on the burner, which I thought was the right thing to do. Got a little crispier. I think we're good. We're just going to cut it with a knife. This will go like this. I'm going to put a little Romano, shaved Romano on top. Now we're going to sit down and we're going to talk about whatever, and we're going to eat this pizza. It's a beauty. Bon appetit. Beauty.
No flop.
No flop at all. Pretty thin, but yet nice, you know? So, thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. Today we gave you a cast iron skillet pizza in a gas range. Next week we're doing country style chicken scarparello. Bone-in chicken, sausage, peppers, potatoes, red pepper. A little spicy, sauteed and roasted. Good dish. Good dish. Thanks for joining us. Give us a like, give us a dislike, tell me what you think. See you soon. And we're gonna be doing something maybe once a week, maybe 2 recipes a week. We're gonna try and do them on Mondays. We can do 2 at once if we get organized with it. And it's a lot to do, Our main thing is to try and save family traditional recipes that are going to the wayside because of the generation. It's just not, my daughter's not carrying on with my recipes, and my sister's kids aren't carrying on with their family recipes, and I feel that the traditional family recipe and tradition is being lost. So I really would like your input. If you got any recipes that you want demonstrated, if you think they're worthy of keeping them alive, let's document them. Let's document them. Let's get them digitally documented. Let's get them video documented. Something to do. Ciao. See you soon.